Hi, I'm Chef Leander, and this is Small Kitchen Big Taste. So here's our mandolin, and before we start there, we're going to get prepped with the mandolin. So I am going to cut the end of this to match that angle, and with the squash, because it's thicker at the bottom, I'm putting a slice on the side. I'm going to do the same thing with this one, and a slice on the side, and that'll become obvious in a moment. This one is a zucchini. I'm going to take a slice there, and we'll put that there. Then I have this little wonderful gadget also on our website. Just put a plastic bag in it. We're going to make some amazing vegetable stock this fall, and you're going to want to keep all of your scraps. I'm keeping the ends of the zucchini and the squash, and now I'm going to take out all of the stems on the mushrooms. We're just going to fill this bag up, put it in the freezer, and then when it comes time to make vegetable stock later, we've got all kinds of ends and leftovers. That'll be the ingredients for your stock. No sense in buying them twice. Okay, so there are the mushrooms, and I've already peeled and quartered some red onion, and the mint is all ready to go. All right, so now we're going to get to the business of the mandolin. And I'm going to put this so the edge we created is looking the right direction, and then boom, there we go. We are slicing and dicing. And this is set for a thick slice of the squash. And then in the fall, we'll change the mandolin to a thinner slice, and we'll use those thin slices of potato to make an amazing scalloped potato recipe with garlic mushrooms. And now the zucchini. Mushrooms aren't my favorite for the mandolin, but they do just fine. I kind of stack them and then squash them in, and here we go. My technique with the knife is fairly decent, but I can't do it that fast with a knife. Doing onions took me a little while to figure out, but what I discovered is that you have to put the face down that has the rings on it. So then you get these really nice slices of onion. Now all we need to do is put it in a stir fry and cook it up. We've got everything sliced and diced, and so we're ready to cook. I've got the New Wave out. There's a link in the description if you're interested in knowing more about the New Wave. But the New Wave is heating the pan. I'm using my hand to check and see if the surface is hot. It's almost warm enough that it's uncomfortable when I hold my hand an inch above the pan, which means that it's ready for some oil. So just a little bit of olive oil. And when you see in recipes that there are certain order of things you should put into your pan, that's because they're trying to balance out cook time. And so the cook time on this is important, and we're going to start with the onions. So the onions are going in the hot oil in the pan. And I love that sound. I love to hear onions sizzle. But it also gets the onion in the back of your throat and makes you cough. So we're going to let these onions cook a little bit, So now that the onions are doing well, it's time to put in all of the mushrooms. Now mushrooms take a little longer to cook, and so the onions are not completely finished, but the onions are far enough ahead of the mushrooms that they will start to caramelize. You know that the mushrooms are getting close to the end of their cook when they start releasing moisture, and you want to cook until the moisture is gone out of your pan. And just so you know what you're looking for, this is a really good example of a mushroom that's just wilted down and has got a little bit of char on it, a little bit of brown on it. That's going to be a yummy taste, and that's where that umami flavor comes from when you're cooking. And now it's time to add the squash. To make sure all the squash cooks well, I'm going to add about 1/4 cup of water and put a top on the lid. We're just going to let that steam for 3-4 minutes, and that'll help everything come together a little quicker. Let's see how we're doing here. Oh yeah, that's looking nice. That's looking very nice. And you can see that it's starting to brown a little bit around the edges, and it's starting to come together with a little bit of a sauce. Now that I've opened it up, I'm going to let it steam off and dry out just a bit before we finish it and put it on a plate. So, to finish this off, part of the deal with garnish is you don't want to put it on too soon so it wilts, unless you want it to wilt. And we want this mint to be very fresh, but have been wilted enough that it's very fragrant. And so that's about all that takes. We're going to put some on each plate. 1 and 2. And then we'll hit it with some fresh lemon zest. That'll pack a punch. And lemon zest here. A little more. And we're just going to go very lightly with the kosher salt. And there you have it. Hope you have a great day. Enjoy your food. I'm Chef Leander. To your health.